So we go with the example on this for all entry. Already we have seen if you want to extract or fetch the data simultaneously two or more than two table, we do have the option called inner join. So we have seen the example on inner join, how to extract the data from the table. But SAP has come up with some alternative way called for all entry. Even for all entry will work similar to inner join. If you execute the inner join or for all entry, the result will be remain same. But only the difference is that the part of performance. See, along with the development, we always need to take care about the performance. If you compare the inner join and the for all entry, the for all entry is always better than inner join, because with the help of inner join, it will be put the load on the database and it will be impact on the performance. Although, like if you look at this for all entry, it is a lengthiest way compared to inner join, but it is a most preferable way. And if you ask me in what situation I should go with the inner join and the for all entry, if you are combining two item tables data, then please do not use a for all entry. If you are using two master data or one master, one header, if the volume of data is low, master data will be in thousands only, maybe 1000, 2000, 5000, this much only. If you go with the item table, it will be in the lakhs. So I will not prefer you to go with the for all entry inner join for the item tables. So this is how. But if you look at the approach, if I go with the inner join, it will compare the two database tables at the database level and get the data into final. But the problem is that it will compare each and every entry of first table with each and every entry in the second table, the field which you are using to compare. Now here, as a part of example, just we do have 100 fields in the 100 rows in the KNA1, 100 customer in the KNA1, and in the VBAK, for those 100 customer, we do have total 10,000 orders in a second table. And your total comparison ratio is 10 lakh times. But if you go with the for all entry, it will work single table. First, it will get the data from first database table to its internal table. Then it will compare this internal table with the second database table. Now, as per the selection screen, we have filtered out and we received only 10 customers in internal table. Now, this time these customers are being compared with second database table. Now, this time your comparison ratio will be 10 into 10,000, nothing but 1 lakh time. With the inner join, your performance ratio, the comparison ratio was 10 lakh times. With the for all entry, it is just 1 lakh time. Now, you decide which one is good for us. But I will show you both. Okay. So, going with SC38, I can say ZA0. You can say sales order. Always take a meaningful name. I can say report. Customer wise. Sales order report. Type executable, should be saved in local object. So here I'm working with the two tables. You should always let them know what are the tables you're working with. So I'm working with two tables, KNA1 and the VBAK. Now based on requirement, I'm creating the selection screen. Beginner block B1 with frame, title, text hyphen 000. I can go with select hyphen options. S underscore Kunnar for KNA1 Kunnar. And this is going to be end of block B1. Done. So now I'm going to create the structures. If I am working with the inner join, then I'm going to write in the same select, one single select statement, but at the same time we are fetching the data from two different database table and getting the data into one of the final. So I'm creating the final structure. Begin of ty underscore final. I can say Kunnar. Land one. Name one. Weblin. Eridat, and the network. This is going to be end of dy final. So these are the field name which you needed in your final output list, and these are the reference to your data element. So this is a field name, this is the data element. So data element is nothing but what? Field label and description for a field, and within the data element you do have the domain. Domain is nothing but what? Data type and the length. Now if I double click on this, it will refer you to the data element. Now this is a field name, so data element name, description, and these are your label. Now within the data element, you do have the domain, and for the domain, the data type is character and length is 10. Now, whatever the property you have defined against the data element, entire property will be get assigned to this field. Now for this land one, this is the data element. For name one, this is the data element. For sales document number Weblin, this is the data element. If I double click on this, see, sales document number, data type, and the length. So actually I know the data element name, so I'm typing it directly. If you don't know, you can just open the table in parallel, check it and pass it. Now here if I double click on this VBAK, it will take you the table. Can you see? For the Weblin, what is the data element? Weblin VA. For AirDat, what is the data element? AirDat. For network, what is the data element? Network AK. Then now what will be my result? Or what will be my approach when I go with the inner join? What will be my approach if I go with the for all entry? So I'm writing the select statement to get the data from select KN1 Kunnar, KN1 land1, name1, Weblin, Eridat, network. From KN1 is going to be inner join with VBAK on KN1 Kunnar should equals to okay. So into table it underscore. See, I have created just structure. I have not created the internal table yet. I will create internal table. First, I will create the work area and it underscore final type table of. So into table IT final where KN1 Kunnar in S underscore Kunnar. So when you are working with the inner join, you must use like this kind representation. This represent from which table, which field we need to get it, or which table, which field we need to get it compared. Because here Kunnar is available in both the table, VBAK as well as KN1. So while comparing the input from selection screen, which table field we need to get it compared. That is what. Once we receive the data into table, we will move into work area. From work area, we are going to display like Kunnar, land1, name1, Weblin, Eridat, and the network. Then just save, syntax check. Your program is synthetically free. See, SAP has having some standard alignment, we can say. And as per the alignment, this select statement is supposed to start from this position, but it has started somewhere from this position. So how to do? Just go with the pretty printer so that your code should get aligned. But your code is not aligning. What message is getting? Formatting was not executed because it is switched off in setting. This pretty printer is having the settings as well, but you no need to maintain the settings. Your username by default comes with the setting, but still if the setting is not maintained, what you do, you can go with utilities, you can go with the settings, and here we do have the pretty printer option. Make sure that this intent, with the intent, it will get aligned, and with the user, with the help of this uppercase and the lowercase, your characters will be converted into respective settings. Now, can you see all the characters are in uppercase, but here if I select this lowercase option, it will get aligned as well as it will convert all the characters into lowercase. Now you're saying that no, I don't want to convert all the characters into lowercase. You can go with uppercase. See, that's it. Activate. Now when I click on execute, when I pass 1000 to 1010, so this is the results. So this is with your inner join, but now I want to go with the for all entry. Okay, so I will comment this one. See, if you want to comment, no need to delete. You can comment it. Comment it means it will get hidden from the compiler. So compiler will not able to read that statement. Now by placing the star at first position, that particular line will be get commented. Otherwise, there is a shortcut also. Shortcut is what? You can use CTRL plus comma. With this, so particular line will get commented. And by using CTRL plus in this, don't use the plus and plus. You can use the control and the less than. Control and less than symbol. Don't use the plus symbol from your keyboard. I'm telling you that, control plus shift we supposed to say. Now suppose if you want to copy any line, what keyword you are going to select? Control plus C. Plus in the sense you need to select both the keyword at the same time. That is what you need to select, this control and this greater than symbol at the same time. That line will get commented and it will remove the comment. Remove the comment. Now see, I want to comment all this line at the same time. Then select all the line, control and comma. See, all the lines get commented at the same time. So when you're working with the for all entry, you need to work tables individually. Here what we did, we extracted the data from both the table together at the same time. But now this time we are working with the for all entry, so we need to get the data from table one by one. And for that we need to create the structures as well. So I'm creating the structure for KNA1. So I need field called Kunnar land1 and name1. Similarly, we are creating the structure for VBAK. From VBAK, we need again these fields. Plus, we need to take the Kunnar as well. Now you can ask me, from the VBAK, we need only Veblen ADAT network. Why we are taking the Kunnar? I will let you know why we are taking this field as well. Done. Now we will create three different work area and three different internal table. Work area underscore KNA1, type TYKNA1, work area underscore VBAK, type TYVBAK. So we do IT, type table of, done. So three different work area, three different inter table. So we need to fetch the data individually from two different table and we are going to combine here. Now this select statement will be splitted into two parts. First, we are fetching the data from KNA1. So we can say select Kunnar, land1, name1 from KNA1 into table IT underscore KNA1, where Kunnar in S underscore Kunnar. Right? So what we did, we have extracted the data from this KNA1 into internal table IT underscore KNA1. Now we need to compare the entries from this IT underscore KNA1 with VBAK. And after comparing, we need to bring the data from VBAK into internal table IT underscore VBAK. But the thing is that before we compare this internal table IT underscore KNA1 with the VBAK, we need to be sure we have received some entry in this table. If we have not received any entry in this table, there is no any point to compare. If you want to get the matchable data, then you must have the entry in this KNA1, IT underscore KNA1. How we are going to check it out? By writing the statement if IT underscore KNA1 is not initial. It means we wanted to proceed further. We wanted to proceed further by extracting the data from VBAK internal table, IT underscore VBAK, only when if we received any entry in this table. If this internal table is empty, then no point to get the data. Okay, so that is what we are going to do here. So we have executed the select statement. Based on that, we have received the data into this table. We are comparing this IT underscore KNA1 with the VBAK. And to check this internal table received some entry, we are going to use this statement. If is a part of conditional statement. So if is a part of conditional statement and it will be start with if, concluded with end if. So it will go to the if only when if this statement is satisfied or condition is get met. Now here we are trying to fetch the data from second internal table called VBAK. From VBAK into table IT underscore VBAK. See, we are fetching the data from VBAK into IT underscore VBAK based on what? Comparing the entries with IT underscore KNA1. Now IT underscore KNA1, we do have 3 columns. Exactly which column we need to get it compare? Where Kunnar equals to IT underscore KNA1 Kunnar. So from the VBAK, we do have the Kunnar. So we need to compare with this IT underscore KNA1 Kunnar. So by executing this select statement, we have received the data in IT KNA1. By executing this select statement, we have received the data in IT underscore VBAK. So we will able to fetch the data from VBAK into IT VBAK only when if you do have received the data in IT underscore KNA1. Suppose if you have not received any entry in this table, so it will not go inside and it will not fetch the data. Now our data is in 2 different internal table, and where we need to collect it? IT underscore final. So if you look at here, our data is in 2 different internal table. That data we need to bring here. We can copy the data from one internal table to another internal table only when if the number of columns and the sequences should be correct. Here how many columns we do have? 3. And here how many columns we do have? 6. So it is not possible. Here how many columns we do have? 4. Here how many columns we do have? 6. Again it is not possible. Then what is the way? So what we need to do is we bring the data from IT underscore KNA1 into respective work area. Similarly, we need to bring the data from IT underscore VBAK to respective work area. And from there, we need to combine in work area final. And from there, we need to collect here. Okay. So that is what. Loop. See, now you can ask me, sir, in what sequence we should write the loop? Do we need to write the loop on this first or do we need to write the loop on this first? See, that is totally depends upon the way you are thinking. And your thinking should be matched as per the business requirement. Okay. So I would suggest go in a sequence, the sequence which you have written the select statement. So first your data is coming to this ITKN1 and based on that you are working on VBAK. So write the first loop on the KN1. Accordingly you can go with the VBAK, right? And before that, again another note for you. See, while fetching the data from database to your internal table, always you should write the fields in the same sequence. the sequence which you have already declared in this structure, and based on the structure you have created the work area and the internal table. See, in your database table called KNA1, the field sequence could be anything. In your database table, your field sequence could be anything. So don't go as per the sequence in database table. Instead, go as per the sequence which you have defined in this internal table. Now this IT underscore KNA1 is created based on the structure TY KNA1, and the TY KNA1 contains the sequence as Kunna Land1 name1. So this should be also Kunna Land1 name1. Maybe in the database table, first field is Kunna, second table is name1, third field is Land1. It could be anything in the database. Don't go as per the database, but always go as per the sequence which you have declared in the IT KNA1. Okay. Now we are going to loop at IT underscore KNA1 into work area underscore KNA1. Now from here, we are moving the data to work area underscore final. Kunnar Land1 name1. This is Kunnar. Okay. Save. Pretty printer. Done. Okay. Now, so the second loop you should not write outside. There is no any meaning. There is no any meaning. You should not write outside, because your VBAK data is dependent on IT underscore KNA1. So if your select statement is dependent on any other select statement, in the same way, your loop should be also dependent, because your data is combining in parallel. Your data is combining in parallel. See, if you write the select statement in this way, first select statement on KNA1, sorry, first loop on the KNA1, second loop on the VBAK, in that situation, your data will be stored horizontally, like Kunnar Land1 name1, your data is getting filled like this way. KNA1 data will be filled like this way. And if you are writing the another loop outside, your data will be, your VBAK data will be stored like this only. Your data will be stored like this only. No, I don't want to do like this. So my KNA1 data should be in this position, VBAK data next to that position, horizontally. So that you need to write within this, like this. So we are looping the data from VBAK into the respective work area. Now, this is a generic way of writing the loop. And this loop is not going to run independently. Instead, this loop is dependent on this looping. So if you look at this, see, whenever we do the loop, it will take first in first out. So what is your first record? 1000. So 1000 will come here. Now you want to read the sales order against this 1000 only. But if you look at this internal table IT underscore VBAK, what is the first record? 1002. So you are combining someone else sales order with someone other customer. So that should not be happen. So we need to say that while looping the data from this internal table to work area, we will get only those customer which is already we have received in this work area. And that is what here we are writing this where condition. Where. So we need to say that where kunnar equals to work area underscore kna1 hyphen kunnar. Same way, after the for all entry, whatever the where you have written, same where we need to write it. But only the difference, here we are comparing with the internal table, here we need to compare with the work area, one by one. Okay, and this is only, see, I told you that here we are from the KNA1 already we are fetching the kunnar. Again from the VBAK, why we are fetching the kunnar? We required during the comparison. See, we are saying that loop at internal table into work area means bring only those row to this work area by comparing with the KNA1 kunnar. And for that comparison, we need that field. We just extracted this field only to compare. Now suppose in this IT underscore VBAK you don't have the Kunnar field, then how did you get compared? Not possible, right? Just to make it compared, we are having that field as a Kunnar. Be required. Okay. And we are moving the data to Weblin Eridat network. Okay. Once we combine, we are going to append worker underscore final to IT final. That's it. Now let's have one more field in a selection screen. That is a part of S underscore Weblin. And S underscore Eridat for. You can ask me where should I get compared. Now to which table this field belongs to? VBAK. So you should compare this only during the extraction of VBAK. It means you need to add here and Weblin in S underscore Weblin and Eridat in S underscore Eridat. That's it. Now if I click on execute, if I pass the customer, you can pass the sales document number also. And again execute. So this is your data. Now if you want, you can pass the date as well, date. Suppose I'm passing the date as well. Okay. Now let it debug. Let's debug this one. Now, even though if you see, you will get the same result. I'm going to comment this one. I'm going to open this one. Okay, the inner join and Weblin in S underscore Weblin and Eridat in S underscore Eridat. There is no any change in the result. Result will be remain same. Sorry. See, if you provide the star at the first position, that complete line will get commented. Now you're saying that no, I don't want to make a comment entire line. I want to make half portion. So I want to make only this line commented. So you can provide two inverted column. With that, that half line will get commented. Still, see, can you see this column name Eridat is ambiguous? Means if the same field exists in both the table, we need to specify that from exactly which table field you need to get it compared. Now, if I click on execute, I will pass the same input. You will get the same result. No changes in the result. See, 1, 2. So for 1000, we do have to record 1001, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 record for 1001, 6 record for 1002, and 2 record for 1000. Now, if I go with this for all entry, you'll get the same result. No changes in the results. See, 1002, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1006. Sorry, 1001 will be having the 6 entry, 1002 also having the 6 entry. Same result, no change. Only the lengthiest. That's it. Now I'm going to place a breakpoint over here. Click on execute, passing the input 1000 to 1010, 5000 to 5500, and the date. And click on execute. Okay. So in the selection screen, we have passed the customer, between 1000 to 1010. Now I'm going to do F6. I'm going to do F6. So we have received 8 entries. Between 1000 to 1010, we do have 8 entries. 1000, 1001, 2, 3, 4, 5. We don't have 6. We do have 7. We don't have 8 and 9. We do have 10. So 8 entries. Now these 8 entries we are going to compare with the VBAK along with selection screen, WebDin and the Redat. And what we have written, if IT underscore KNA1 is not initial. Initial means empty. Not initial means not empty. So we wanted to execute this select statement only when if internal table is not empty. So of course this internal table is not empty. In that we do have 8 record. Now we are comparing these 8 record with VBAK and we are extracting the data. Now can you see the first record here? 1002. And where is your 1000? This is at the index number 3 plus index number 6. Now suppose while combining the data, if you have not written this where condition, then someone else customer is going to be binded with someone else sales order. That is wrong. So now we are going to work on loop, do F6. The first record comes to work area. Now in IT underscore KNA1, what is the first record? 1000. The IT underscore VBAK, what is the first record? 1002. So while looping the first internal table, that should be in a generic way. We are moving the data from work area KNA1 to work area final. Now you can see. So this is a work area KNA1 data. That data is moving to work area underscore final. See, Kunnar land 1 name 1. Now for this Kunnar, we need to read the sales order. Now suppose if I have not written this where condition, then in the IT underscore VBAK, whatever the first record is there, that will be picked. But we don't want to do in that way. We want to read only those customer as per customer which we have received in a work area underscore KNA1. So system should read directly this record. These two, like 5045, 5104. What is the first record? 17, but he will read 45 and the 104. Now you can see if I do F6, which record it has read? The third record, third index. And here you can see that index number. And what is this site tabix? I will let you know later. We do have the separate concept called system variable. When I do F6, okay. Now again it is going to the loop at IT underscore VBAK and he want to be sure, do we have any other entry against this IT underscore VBAK or not? Okay. Now in this IT underscore VBAK, do we have any other entry against this 1000? Yes, we do have at 5104 at the index number 6. See what is the index number? 6. Can you see? Yes. And that data is going to be collected in IT underscore final. Can you see? Same customer, same country, same name, order number, date, and the amount. Okay. Now he's again checking in the IT underscore VBAK, do we have any other entry or not against 1000? If not, he will come to this main end loop. Again, it will go to the main looping. Now, what was the customer which we are looking for? 1000. Now, what is the next customer? See, 1001. Now we are working for next customer 1001. Now what it will do? It will go to IT underscore VBAK. Now it will read only those orders which belongs to 1001 and which is starting from index number 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 and 14. Before that, we don't have any order for 1001. Can you see it will start from 5162, 95, 96, 34, 67, 97. Index number 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 and 14. And I can see. What was the record? 5162. What was the index number? 9. Next, 95. What was the index number? 10. 13, 14, 15. That's it. Now we don't have any other entry against 1001. He will come out. Again, it will go to the main looping. Now it will need the next customer. Now for this customer, where is your data? It is in the index number 1, 2, 4, 5, 7 and 8. 1, 2, 4, 5, 7, 8. You can see the first index, order number is 5017. Second index, the order number is 5026. Then fourth index, order number is 5055. Fifth index, the order number is 5100. Then we don't have 6, but at the 7th and the 8th, see 7, 5111, and the 8, 5135. That's it. Now it will go to the main loop again. He will check for, do we have it this next customer is 1003, and do we have any sales order against 1003? No, right? He will come out. He will go to the next customer, 1004. He will look for the item underscore VBAK. Do we have any order against 1004? No. Then 1005. He will look for item underscore VBAK. Do we have any order against 1005? No, skip. Then 1007. He will look for same item underscore VBAK. Do we have any orders against 1007? No. Then lastly 10. So in the item underscore final, we have received all 14 entry, and he's going to loop it and is going to display.